Lions TV, 18 days after Gary Rowitz left the club by mutual consent, the drama and speculation is finally over. It has been confirmed today on Twitter by the Don, that is Richard Cowley at South London Press, that Millwall are set to appoint Joe Edwards as their new manager Monday or Tuesday. It's a really, really exciting, fresh and ambitious appointment for me. I absolutely am all over it. I actually would have had Muscat or Nathan Jones or Edwards. I didn't really have a first choice. I just think now in football that, as Peter Morris said yesterday in his video at full time or post match, that we need to evolve this Millwall way. The kickballer can bite. Yes, we love it, but just looking at the way Southampton played yesterday and popped us to death with ridiculous amounts of possessions, and their goalkeeper playing at the back like his prime Jan Mulby in centre midfield. There's definitely a different aspect of football these days. It's definitely evolving, and I would rather us appoint someone that's unknown, fresh to the division, fresh to management in general, although he has got great experience in football, than go down the same route as these old managers that are set in their ways. Really, really ambitious for the club, and the new chairman, James Berylson, big decision for him to make early on in his career as our chairman. Of course, he come from good stock and was taught the ropes by his late great father, John Berylson. Yeah, look, it's really, really exciting. I'm going to say to you now about a few little things I heard, rumours that may or may not have been true. There was a message the other day giving a complete summary that was doing the rounds, saying that about every manager that was in for it. Apparently, Muscat wasn't actually even interviewed, which is strange because we heard that he was. Of course, he's in Japan, managing in the J League. He's team at top of that league, and their season doesn't finish until December. So there was rumours going around that he wanted to see that through and get them over the line. But I have heard, and again, look, these are just rumours. As a football fan, just like you, that's heard it and is relaying it, I heard that Muscat wanted something in the region of £35,000 a week, which I probably couldn't believe. He's probably on great money in the J League, and although he does have ties to our club, you know, if you can get a flight home in 9 hours as opposed to 24 hours, that's triple the time. And if you're getting triple the money anyway, where you already are, it's going to be difficult for you to want to leave and pursue a career, although it would be in England at a very high and well-respected level. So that was Muscat out of the running. I heard that Michael Beale did okay in his interview, didn't overly impress. They was all okay with that. And Nathan Jones, as much as I wanted him, we know he's left Luton twice in the past for Stoke and Southampton. Again, just a rumour, but apparently Nathan Jones wanted a release clause. That's what I heard in his contract, and Millwall wouldn't part with that. It's a fair play to the club for standing strong. And they've gone with Joe Edwards. As I said, he's going to be one of these new age managers. It's going to be very difficult for him in his first 2 months. He will lead the team next Saturday against Sheffield Wednesday. It hasn't actually been confirmed yet by the club, but Richard Cowley's called it, so there you go on the screen now. It definitely will happen early next week, Monday or Tuesday. Joe Edwards, in his first game in management, will go to Sheffield Wednesday, struggling at the wrong end of the division. Joe Edwards, yes, he's only 37, 6 years younger than me, nearly 8, because I'll be 44 in January. That makes me feel very, very old. But look, I think it's the way to go. Honestly, I really, really do. He's been around it. As I said, he's had a great career. Started out in the Chelsea youth team. I did do a separate video. I'll link that in at the end, which gives you a little bit of backstory on him, which I had to look up myself because as it stands, he doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, which, as I've said already, you don't need one to be a football manager, but it's very difficult to find stuff out about people if they haven't been a football manager and you haven't got a Wikipedia page. He's one of these new age managers I think that he's going to be anyway. That's very similar to Kieran McKenna at Ipswich. Of course, he was a Man United scout. Never really, played, but never, ain't got 300-400 games on the board in league level. And he's done fantastically well with Ipswich. Got them promoted, and now they're flying high. Lost yesterday to Wayne Rooney's Birmingham, but they're flying high at the right end of the division now. And then, of course, you already before that had Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper was, as Joe Edwards is, an England youth coach. Works at Liverpool as well before he went into the England fold. Took over Nottingham Forest when they was rock bottom from Chris Houghton of our division. Ended up getting them promoted, and now they're holding their own in the Premier League. You can put him in that bracket as well. And also on top of that, Liam Manning, the current Oxford manager, he ties in with the first story I was just saying, because in that text that I got, I heard that if they couldn't get Edwards and they couldn't get Jones, they was going to go after Liam Manning. Looked him up, exactly the same as McKenna and exactly the same as Edwards. Never really played at the top level, flitted in and out, but never a substantial amount of games in the Football League. So it definitely does seem the way to go, and I'm all for it. It will definitely change the face of the football club, the way we like to play. As I said, the kickballer can bite, the Millwall'S, the togetherness. And as much as I love that and you all love that, I do think now that times are changing. We do need to evolve, and that is only going to take us so far. As I said, look at Southampton yesterday, popping it for fun and looking at the squad. As I said, he's going to have a difficult task ahead of him because he won't be able to make any changes until January. I think it's going to pretty much, if you count Sean Hutchinson as being fit, even Wes Harding, Jake Cooper, Murray Wallace, I think in time that's going to be the end of all of them. And obviously, we know Bart anyway. We had a fantastic game yesterday, by the way. But I hope to cover that later in a post match analysis. Yeah, all of them, because they need to be able to play out the back and start from the back, get teams pressing high, break that press, and then you can attack with pace. We definitely need a pace infusion as well in the squad. So, I mean, it might sound a bit muggy, but Alex Aldridge as well, moving on to our recruitment man, he obviously got the job. He was a little bit of a championship manager nerd. And I think, in a sense, this is what these boys are. They really know their football. And I was always of the belief that if you've never played football, you can't really manage it. They've played football, of course they have. And I'll get on to Joe Edwards in a minute. I'll link a couple of videos in at the bottom that I've already put on in the last video I did about him. Yeah, but I'm starting to get away from that mindset now and that thought process, because it definitely does seem to be the way to go. I'm really, really excited. I'll bring you more on it. I'm hoping to do a podcast either later tonight as well, or if not, definitely tomorrow with the boys. But as it stands, it's already 4:15 on a Sunday, and there is lots and lots to cover. Joe Edwards, yes, come through the Chelsea Youth Academy from a young age, from under 8s right up to 16s when he was released. He then worked at the club as an administrator and went out to help out in his spare time with the under 8s, coaching them. And then he's gone right through the process there. Must have soaked up, from some top class players and managers, all the knowledge he could. He definitely knows his way around it. It's just, management, of course, is a different thing. But he ended up being assistant to Frank Lampard. He was involved with Thomas Tuchel as well. We then went with Lampard to Everton. He was his assistant there. He then went to Everton as well with Lampard and was his assistant there. And now he manages the England under 20s. Well, until this point, he's now going to manage us. So definitely no mug. Definitely got good credentials in football. Will he have the character? I mean, you see this sometimes with young managers, especially if you're older. It's like, mate, you're fucking young, same age as me, younger than me. What the fuck do you know? But look, we need to give him a chance. I think he's a very, very exciting appointment by the club, and I welcome it with open arms. As I said, I'll bring you more as it happens. Hoping to do a podcast tonight and also a post-match analysis. Joe Edwards is set to be appointed as Millwall's new manager. Of course, just before I go, I forgot to say, I put out this morning on social media that I thought Jody Morris was going to be his assistant. That's not looking like it's going to happen now. I think maybe Morris is holding out to see if Frank Lampard gets the Bristol City job. His number 2 is going to be Andy Myers. Andy Myers, I'm sure, was an old Chelsea fullback in the 90s. Might have even played against us in the FA Cup against Chelsea when we won 5-4 there on penalties in 1995. I might be wrong on that one, but Andy Myers, number 2, Premier League experience, older head, and Joe Edwards is actually not our manager. He's going to be our head coach. I think that's manager, but just a new, fresh term for it. It's exciting to see. Looks like things are moving forward. Good luck to the new gaffer. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.